quicker than Liam Everts. The gap between the two leaders now, 2.4 seconds. Are we going to get a surprise attack from Langenfelder? Still plenty of time, just under 18.5 minutes plus 2 laps. Here is Everts. Is the gap coming down? Everts sets the fastest lap. Langenfelder responds with the fastest lap, and so too does Adamo. So 3 riders, quick succession, fastest lap after fastest lap after fastest lap. The gap between first and second, 2.1. The gap between first and third, 3.6. Both riders opt in for that second rut. Adamo a little bit further wide to the outside. Tell you what, Langenfelder, sector 1, 30.4. Sorry, Everts 30.4, Langenfelder 29.9. And Langenfelder is finding his mojo here. The German going after the Belgian, top of the hill. We'll get another sector time in a moment. And Everts goes through 27 seconds, 0.4, 26.4 for Langenfelder. Inching closer, the gap down to 6/10. Where would Liam Everts rather be right now? Leading and just hoping? Or if Langenfelder finds his way past, does he need that kind of intel to see where the German is making up time and then maybe use that himself a little later on? Either way, Langenfelder is closing in thick and fast. Easier when you're the follower. You can see what the other rider is doing. See where you're able to make up ground. You can try things. Sometimes when you lead the race, you're just happy to stick into that same line. Very rarely venture off. 3/4 of a second in it. Adamo, the fastest man on track, fastest lap of the race. The gap down to 2.2 between the top 3. Everts is on the ropes. Langenfelder looking to pounce, and he triples his way up the inside. Somehow Everts manages to continue leading, puts a hand up to Langenfelder to say, dude, what are you doing? Could have took us both down. Some nervous looks on the faces down there in pit lane. Adamo closing in. Sasha Coonan, brave ride for him in 4th place. You cannot take that away from him. Camden McClellan has lost 4 positions. He's gone from 9th down to 8th.
Uno, dos.
Camden McClellan has gone from 9th down to 13th place. I'm looking at the rider number. Right, Everts. He knows, and he's seen half a wheel and maybe a bit of handlebar at the top of the hill. Knows that Langenfelder is closing. Was that the kick up the backside that he needed just to say, okay, can't sit here and settle anymore. Go time. But again, he's in that same position, isn't he? The same predicament where Langenfelder still maybe has 1 or 2 cute lines up his sleeve that he knows are working better than some of those like here, the outside-inside combination. Which one is quicker, by the way? Looked like Langenfelder got out of there slightly better than the 26. Was 8/10 at the last splits, down to 4/10 now. As we go into lap 9, Sasha Coonan with the fastest lap of the race, with a 47, or 1:47.9. The 3 guys ahead of him, all in the 49s. So is Everts just riding a little tight here? Because that pace for the first 3 is the same. That's allowing Sasha Coonan to gain a little bit of an advantage. We could have a 4-way battle for the win here. Untidy through there, and Langenfelder finds his way past. How did we miss that? Langenfelder, your new leader on lap 9. Getting his head down as well, but he will now be the first into traffic. Tell you what, Langenfelder, one side of the track to the other. Not sure if that was intentional or not. But Langenfelder with clear track ahead of him. Looking good as well, isn't he? Adamo and Koonin lurking. Koonin not as close as the Italian though. De Wolf all over the back of Racialis. These two fighting over 6th position. Thibaut Beneston is already out of the turn and gone. 5.6 seconds further up the track as De Wolf shows him a wheel. Racialis doesn't flinch. Right, De Wolf again hard on the gas, hard on the brakes. Inside rut number 1, gets the job done. Double, single over the city jump. De Wolf now up into 6th. Taken too long though to find his way past Racialis.
Dímelo, dímelo, dímelo. Gracias a todos los que están entrando por ahí esta mañana.
He's in 8th right now.
Sí, nos levantamos un
The Honda
poquito.
HRC man.
No
That's his
sabía
teammate. He's up to
si lo
16th.
iba a estar haciendo no sabía si iba a estar haciendo la transmisión. Pero aquí estamos. Vamos a ver por ahí en el chat quiénes están por ahí. Por ahí tenemos a Langenfelder que está liderando. Está liderando con Liam Everts, que es el nuevo líder después del último round que estuvieron corriendo allá en el fango. Vayan por ahí diciéndome en el chat a quién van ustedes. Langenfelder adelante, Liam Everts segundo, Andrea Adamo tercero, Saka Koonin cuarto, Beneston está quinto, The Wolf va sexto. Así que vamos a ver cómo se va desarrollando esta carrera. Todavía faltan 11 minutos. Ya pasamos mitad de la carrera.
Oh, Latta nicely round the outside, cuts back to the inside, up into turn 2, takes the position away from Racialis. He now moves up.
A ver quiénes están por ahí en el chat. Quiénes están por ahí. Déjenme saber si se escucha bien el audio, si está todo bien.
Minutes to go, plus 2 laps. We are on lap 11. Good ride in this from Latta. Got a 7th in race 1 at the opening round in Argentina. Since then hasn't been inside the top 10, but he's young, he's on the learning curve, let's say. He's up to 7th now. He's got De Wolf ahead of him. Can he go after the number 1? Meanwhile, Langenfelder at the head of the field. Now 2.3 seconds clear of Liam Everts. Adamo about 2 seconds further back, almost. Here is your race leader. Just set the fastest time in Sector 2. He'll hit Sector 3 any moment now. About 3/10 quicker than Everts in that last sector. The gap going out to about 2.5 seconds right now. Adamo pushing hard. Hoping to find his way under the rear wheel of the Belgian sooner rather than later, but Everts not making it easy for him on the number 26.
Dímelo, dímelo, dímelo. Estamos por aquí activos. Andrea Adamo del equipo Red Bull KTM Factory Racing en la tercera posición en busca de Liam Everts, que fue el dominante de esa carrera de fango nasty que estuvieron ellos en el último round. Llevan 12 vueltas, faltan menos de 9 minutos. Una pista distinta en condiciones a la última, a la que Liam Everts estuvo corriendo y ganando. Pero por aquí va Andrea Adamo de camino a ver si puede trabajar a Liam Everts. Lo Disculpen, oye, me acabo de levantar, los que estén entrando por ahí, no sé quién esté por ahí todavía. Me gustaría ahí que digan en el chat desde dónde nos están viendo. Y obviamente que dejen su like y se suscriban si no lo han hecho todavía. Aquí estamos viendo un poquito del MXGP. Empezamos ya un poquito tarde, ya la carrera había comenzado. Literalmente me levanté cuando estaban arrancando. Así que seteé esto lo más rápido posible. Hay errores, pero estamos bien. Déjame saber cómo se escucha mi voz, cómo se escucha el audio de la carrera. Y ahí pueden ver que Liam Everts está en esa segunda posición. Déjame yo hacer algo acá. Ahora sí.
Sasha Coonan closing in fourth. Two Belgians about to go at it in the next 7 minutes plus 2 laps. But this is a question last week.
Bueno, aquí ya Adamo hace el pase. Adamo ya hace el pase y entonces se encuentra ahora, saca Coonan con el número 19 en busca de Liam Everts, ese número rojo. ¿Qué round es este de ellos? Ustedes saben, los que estén entrando por ahí, si me pueden dejar saber cuál es este round. ¿Qué número es este round de ellos? Este es el tercer round. No estoy muy seguro.
Championship's getting interesting all of a sudden, isn't it? For anybody who thought that the defending champ would just walk away with it, hasn't been going according to plan in the first 3 rounds. Yes, he was victorious in Argentina, second overall in Kozar. A first, a fifth, a third, a second. He's currently sitting in 6th place at the moment, the defending champ.
Vamos a subir un poquito aquí el audio de ellos. Se escucha la carrera. Si van entrando y van hablando en el chat, entonces yo ahí contesto, les hablo un poquito. Y vamos a ver la salida.
Langenfelder and Racialist maybe grabbing that foxhole shot. See where the line is on the entry point. Liam Everts quickly into second. De Wolf was buried mid-pack. Beniston was in there as well, but just
muy buena
a few
salida
positions
de
further
todos
adrift.
ellos, menos de The Wolf, que ahora mismo se encuentra sexto buscando
get a bad pick.
seguir subiendo. Seguir subiendo posiciones. Pero obviamente son condiciones complicadas, los chamacos están todos activos. Liam Everts obviamente con ese plato rojo tiene nuevas emociones, nuevo aire. Y el que no he visto por aquí es bueno, aquí vemos a McClellan, que es el de Triumph, pero al otro de Triumph que no he visto es a Guillén Fares, el español. No he visto a Guillén. No está por todo eso Guillén Fares. Algo sabe. Alguien sabe, ¿verdad? De los que estén por ahí en el chat, primero que todo déjenme ese like y ese subscribe si no lo han hecho todavía. Pero si saben de qué es lo que le pasó a Guillén Fares, sería espectacular saberlo también.
was a good start to the race for Carlos Racelis. Racelis with the foxhole shot. First time this year. It was very tight, wasn't it? Because Langenfelder drifted wide. Raceless just
Langenfelder, él...
Thibaut Beneston, your qualifying race winner, your pole man.
En la que estuvimos dando en Argentina, de Argentina. Langenfelder lució bastante bien. Aquí va el número 9 de Monster Energy Yamaha Factory. Esto es básicamente el equivalente a lo que es un Star Racing Yamaha aquí en los Estados Unidos. No creo que corran igual las motos por las reglas distintas de gasolina y todo eso, pero se llevó el whole shot. No, Racelis fue el que se llevó el whole shot, o por lo menos el que yo vi que salió adelante.
Whether it's for the overall win or for second or for third, whatever it is. And the points today just for the overall Grand Prix victory. The points from the qualifying race yesterday counting to the World Championship, which is why Liam Everts arriving as the championship leader on Sunday with that championship leader's red plate. Edging 2 points clear of Kai de Wolf on Saturday. Beneston looking for lines, didn't want to go too deep into the rut, tried to get out of that rut early. And his lap time's 1:51.1 last time. This time around, Thibaut Beneston 1:51.3. Langenfelder 3.4 seconds clear ahead of Adamo. Evans 3.8 seconds further back, but he has 4 seconds clear of Sasha Coonan. Racialist under pressure here from Oriol Oliver and Quentin Prunier. So Oliver on the 51, the KTM BTS Racing Team rider, and Prunier on the WZ KTM, team that Oliver raced for last year. Oliver a little untidy through the waves. Almost allows Prunier a route through, and he's forceful through there. Prunier goes through. A look back to see where the next challenge comes from, and it's Kaz Volk who launches past the Spaniard. At the first time of asking, not hanging around there, was he? So Racialist, hands full here. Prunier round the outside. Can he hold it together? Yes, he can.
Sí, aquí en estas cuestas los que están frenando más tarde son los que están haciendo los pases, los que están completando los pases. Aquí ahora mismo vemos a el número el número 319 de Prunier. El número 319. Haciendo pases agresivos, también lata. Está por ahí en el ambiente con el número 18. Y con el número 172 está Baut, seguido por Oliver en esa posición número 11. McClellan 12. Y le quedaba todavía un segundo cruzando la meta. Por eso quedan 3 vueltas. Y estamos fríos, acabaditos de levantar, sin café todavía. Estoy esperando a que se acabe esta para hacerme el café. Uy. Pero aquí estamos con ustedes, así que ahí los que puedan ir dejando su like, su subscribe. Vamos a ver si de aquí ahorita empezamos a poner el ritmo. Temprano acá, casi van a ser las 7 de la mañana.
See how that race line has developed, can't you, as the race has gone on, close to the signaling area, pit lane.
Ahí va Langenfelder, que le lleva 5 segundos a Andrea Adamo.
Just after the finish line, and the right-hander. Ooh, I tell you what, drag the fork leg and his foot peg.
Por poquito se cae Langenfelder ahí en una línea profunda que como que el foot peg.
Advantage over Adamo as we head into
el foot peg se le quedó encajado un poquito.
He's kept his cool, hasn't he, since finding his way to the front. Langenfelder. Just over a lap to go as he goes past the mechanics at pit lane into turn 1. Chocolate cake out there, isn't it, at the moment? So sticky. Cornering like you're on rails. Well, rider is in a sticky situation. Is the 47 of Racialist. He's still got Oliver behind him and McClellan breathing down both their necks on that Monster Energy Triumph.
El número 47, el número 51 y el número 8. Una batalla de 3. En una batalla de 3. Por cada oración que digo son como 2 abostezos. Así estamos. Pero el de la Triumph, McClellan, agresivamente le hace un pase y se va por fuera, se mantiene, aunque le habían vuelto a pasar, pero vuelve y recupera ese pase que recién había logrado. Así que pasa McClellan a la posición número 11, Oliver a la posición número 12. Vamos a ver si el corredor de Yamaha, el número 47, Rieslis, o Rieslis, no sé el nombre bien. Estoy aprendiendo de lo que es el MXGP, los corredores, que no son los nombres comunes. Estoy aprendiendo de los toditos. Pero vamos poquito a poco. No pudimos hacer la transmisión ayer de Supercross, pero aquí estamos hoy en el MXGP.
Simon Langenfelder. Has done everything right in race 1. Started around about 4th or 5th, didn't he? Found his way past Sasha Coonan to move into 3rd. Moved by Racialist to move into 2nd. Took over the lead. On lap 9, Langenfelder takes his first win.
Ahí está, Langenfelder se lleva la primera posición con Andrea Adamo en la segunda posición.
3.6 seconds further back. We wait for Liam Everts. Here he is, out of the final turn. He will continue to lead the championship.
Y por ahí va Liam Everts en esa tercera posición.
Tough race for Everts.
Hay que ver cómo
what can he do in race 2?
Hay que ver cómo
Everts will now have a 7-point advantage over Langenfelder and
cómo ellos terminan ahora en las posiciones.
Everts on 119, Adamo on 99, and Sasha Coonan just 5 points further back.
Y aquí tenemos los top 5, Langenfelder, Adamo, Everts, Sasha Coonan y Benny Stent del equipo de Yamaha.
And boy, does that feel good, I'm sure.
Vamos a ver cómo quedan los puntos después de esta carrera. No recuerdo bien cómo quedaron todos la vez anterior.
getting everybody else over the line. Langenfelder knows the score.
Así que Liam Everts puede ser que siga, mantenga su posición con ese plato rojo.
It'll be interesting to see what he has to say. Nice long start straight here. See how it narrows down though into that first turn. And anybody now looking at that, even though they'll rip the part of the track just under here is going to have a slightly firmer base through that arc. Wonder how many riders will be eyeing that up in MXGP as they prepare to go to the line for their first race. Right, a little bit of calm out there. Langenfelder, your winner from Adamo, Everts, Sasha Kuhn and Thibaut Beniston 5th, De Wolf 6th, Latta, Volt, Prunier and McClellan. And we are getting ready to go down to Lisa Leyland, who is with Simon Langenfelder, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, a first-time winner in 2025 with that victory in race 1.
Simon Langenfelder, congratulations. You took the lead on lap 9. You didn't look back. You were really pushing out there, but you look comfortable. First race win of the season.
Oh yeah, track was very technical today. I like it more than yesterday. So yeah, I had some moments. I missed some gears and was in the free gear, so had some moments which put my heart rate back up. But yeah, could win the first race. Really happy.
Best of luck for the second race. Thanks, Simon.
Simon Langenfelder then with his first race win of the season. In terms of the championship, he moves up to 2nd. He started the weekend 3rd. 19 points off the lead, 13 behind Liam Everts. All of a sudden he's within 7 points, up to 2nd. 7 points behind Everts, the championship leader coming into race 1. Langenfelder, a first-time winner in 2025.
Oye, los que se estén dando la vuelta por ahí, aquí está el canal de YouTube de Project MX TV, se pueden suscribir donde están viendo las carreras.
MX2 race 1 over on the right side, your number 1, Kai de Wolf, with 29th gate pick. He got pushed to the outside, but as Langenfelder drifted wide, it was just a foxhole shot for the first time for the 47 of Carlos Raceless on the Yamaha. Everts, your new championship leader, tucked in behind him in 2nd. Sasha Kuhn in 3rd. Langenfelder in 4th. Beniston around about 5th, 6th position. Adamo not too far back either on the number 80. Milan buried mid-pack, he can only muster 13. That was Adamo going off track. He got, I don't know if he got bumped or not, but anyway, he was just behind or alongside Beniston and dropped back in behind Beniston. Everts started to pull away, but then Langenfelder got the better of Raceless to move into 2nd. Adamo capitalised on that mistake as well to move into 3rd. All of a sudden, they started closing in on Everts. Sasha Kuhn also found his way past the Latvian as he moved into 4th. Then Beniston and De Wolf also found their way past the rider in fluoro. Everts, a mistake coming out of there. That was enough for Langenfelder to take over the lead on lap 9. Everts, sorry, De Wolf up the inside of Racialis. That was for 6th place. But it was the 27 of Langenfelder, a 3.9 second winner over Adamo. Everts was 3rd.
Bueno, aquí van a estar arreglando la pista. Yo lo que voy a hacer es que le voy a dejar aquí
Simon Langenfelder wins for the first time in 2025.
Bueno, aquí están los puntos. Simon Langenfelder está en la primera posición, Adamo segundo, Liam Everts tercero, Sasha Kuhn en cuarto, Beniston quinto, De Wolf sexto. Y por ahí para abajo, porque se fueron los séptimos y octavos, Prunier, McClellan, Raceless, Oliver, Valen, Elsinga, Sankey, Mikula, Girder, Smith, Braceras y Pietre. Esas son las posiciones como quedaron hoy, están pasando las máquinas. Importantísimo esa preparación intermedia a las carreras.
Very tight, we know that. Oh, very tight.
Oof. Very tight. El
Carlos
Holshot
Racheless
no
with
se
the black
sabe ahí
plate.
bien quién se lo llevó. ¿Quién se lo llevó?
Looks pumped.
Leturgues. Jeremy Leturgues.
3 now for the Latvian. The last coming in Shanghai race 2 last year.
Ese Fox Holshot.
Goes to the top of the leaderboard as well. We've got 5 races, 5 different foxhole shotters. Careful how I say that. New Holland doing their bit. Let's take a look at the best moment, shall we?
Iban haciendo la preparación, pasándole otra vez el box, pasándole el tiller. Debería ir a prepararme mi café ahora. Hombre, que se
Some of the best moments then from MX2 Race 1. Join us in just under 2 minutes' time when we return to Saint-Jean-d'Angely for MXGP Race 1. Is that a little bit of rain I hear on the microphones? I hope not. See you in a sec. In the standings, 23 points off the pace. He's chasing his first win of the season as he looks to reduce the deficit to Geiser. 2 French riders are tied in points. In second and third, Maxime Renault, and Romain Fevre, who will come out on top today. We've got interchangeable conditions all weekend. They look like they're going to continue throughout the day. There was just a few spots of rain out there a moment ago at the end of the MX2 race. Looks like we're okay though for now. but our track crew and New Holland down there as well, making sure that this racetrack stays in tip-top and prime condition throughout the remainder of the day. MXGP Race 1 coming up in a few moments' time, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. And you know what? We have a very, very interesting feature coming up for you in a few minutes as well. Here's a look at the track, 1,610 metres long. A couple of changes if you're joining us for the first time. Between turn 1 and turn 2 is a little bit longer. Across the top is now 90 degrees, dropping down into the valley out of turn 3. And then just where you see the waves going up into that right-hander, the end of sector 1, we used to go up and down a little bit more there, but as we see, we do not now. And then across the top, 90 degree, pretty much down onto the start straight. And yeah, they're the things, but it's hard, it's slick, it's chalky, it's interesting. But before we go anywhere else, Tim Geiser won his 50th Grand Prix victory last week. Here's a report on the other riders that also met that milestone over the years. And out of the final turn, Tim Geiser takes the checkered flag. 3 wins out of 3 this weekend, including the qualifying race win, 2 on the day, the overall Grand Prix victory, and 50 wins for the Slovenian.
Last weekend I managed to take my 50th overall GP win. I mean, it's a big number, and to be joining such a legend in the sport, you know, to achieve 50 Grand Prix victories, it's amazing, you know. Obviously, I didn't know last week. When I crossed the line, obviously I was super happy, you know, to win the overall, but I didn't know that it was my 50th Grand Prix victory. So obviously when they told me, like, I was super happy, and I mean, it gives you even more motivation, you know, like to go even more forward, to try to reach even bigger numbers.
Joel Robert was the first rider to get to 50 Grand Prix wins, and he was so ahead of his time. One of the first riders to really launch a motorcycle from a jump or a bank, use the airtime to gain time, and he was just a class above in the late 60s and early 1970s. He set that win mark, and it was nearly 30 years before it was matched by another incredible rider, Stefan Everts. He also won 6 world titles, and still to this day, only 2 riders have even passed that mark. So that gives you an idea of just how important Joel Robert, who was the first to get to 50 wins, is in the history of motocross.
Since then, of course, we've had just a handful of riders also reach that milestone, including Stefan Everts, including Jeffrey Hurlings, Antonio Cairoli, Joel Smets.
Yeah, well, if we talk about 50 GP wins, that was not really what was in my mind when I started racing dirt bikes. I'm a pretty different story to most of the other stories. I got my first dirt bike when I was 17. I rode my first GP when I was 21. I never had an 85, never had a 125, never had a 250. So I jumped straight into the big class. When you reach that mark of 50, that was, then it really sunk into me. Then it was like, especially because it was Joel Robert who had 150. I was named after him. Yeah, so no need to explain how special that was. Let's say, yeah, to beat my hero.
And that 50, if you can get there, that's a whole new level of status in terms of your sort of persona and your place in the history of the sport. Congratulations to Tim Geiser on 50 Grand Prix victories. Well, guess what, folks? It's not like we've seen enough rain in 2025. We had enough in Argentina. We certainly had enough last week in Kozar. And we didn't expect to get it today, but we have the MXGP riders out on their sighting lap. But before we go anywhere else, Lisa Leyland was down on the grid a few moments ago. She caught up with Isaac Gifting. Before that, Romain Febvre.
So we're almost ready for MXGP race 1 of the day, but let's catch up with Kawasaki's racing and home rider Romain Febvre. Romain, let's talk about yesterday's. You got an okay start. It looked like you got caught up in the pack. I don't know if it was on the start straight or the first corner, but you worked yourself back up to 5th. That's a solid result.
Yeah, solid, but not enough. I mean, yeah, the start was, my jump was actually pretty good, but on the straight I lost some speed, and then coming in the turn I was quite far, so I was in the mix the first few turns, and actually I was more than top 10. Came back 5th, which was like good, but the guys on the front, they was just too far. So just hopefully for a better start. Track is better as yesterday because you can make more difference as yesterday, which is good. Hopefully it's not gonna rain too much, and let's see.
And obviously you got a little on your lip. That's from time practice.
Yeah, time practice. I just got a stone on the straight, and I just damaged like my lips and teeth a little bit, but it's okay, not bad.
Well, enjoy your home GP. Thank you, Roman Febvre. So the next rider I'd really like to speak to is Isaac Gifton, who I actually messaged before this first race saying, can you get there early? He is actually the last rider to the line. And you're like, yeah, I'll be there on time. I'm sorry, but what's going on? And then he said he missed his warm-up for this interview.
Yeah, I even skipped the warm-up for this. I'm here in time now. It's not even a 2 minute sign yet.
Well, listen, I want to speak about yesterday. Another top 10 result for you. Clearly you excel in those kind of wet conditions.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't want to stress it. If it comes to me, the result. So, like yesterday, it was a muddy one again. I just stayed in control, and really, it just started a really good race. So, happy with that. P7, perfect for the gate today.
Yeah.
Think the weather's getting a bit better, so hopefully I get a bit better as well. Yeah, I hope so.
Track's a little bit more technical today.
Yeah, but I'm very technical as well, so that would be great.
You also got really bad timekeeping.
No. That's routine. I need to keep my routine. Even if it's a mess, it needs to be like that.
Noted. Okay, enjoy your race. Thank you. Isaac Gifton there. Okay, good luck to all the guys. It's time for MXGP Race 1.
Not sure where he was looking when he said the weather was improving, because just after that it started to absolutely hammer it down with rain. Great to see Luigi Segui there in the camp. He just pulled away over the shoulders of Lisa as they were finishing that interview. So yeah, Luigi Segui, homeboy, not too far from here actually, just more in the Lot region near Cahors. And they are the weather conditions that we have right now. Here's what happened in the qualifying race yesterday in MXGP. Similar conditions at the gate drop yesterday for MXGP qualifying. PJ pulls Jonas up the inside gate. The run down towards the first turn. Roman Febvre, middle of the pack, just ahead of the 10 of Calvin Verlandren. Verlandren banging bars there with PJ on the exit of the turn. Uphill, though, it was Lucas Koenen who led the way on the number 96. It was a slick racetrack in places. Jan Panzer was there in second, Maxime Renault in third. Fourth was Horgmo. The two Hondas of Fernandez and Geiser were next. Then PJ tried to split them, and he did on the way down the hill. Gifting was all the way to the outside alongside the Kawasaki. Those two almost touched on the exit of the turn. But up front, Koenen trying to make a break for it. Maxime Renault in third, dealing with Geiser, who just found his way past his teammate Ruben Fernandez. And then eventually, the second time of asking, Maxime Renault did move his way past Jan Panzer and into second place. Geiser also found his way past his fellow countryman as he moved into third. That was lap 2 or 3. Look how deep the ruts were, look how sticky it was. That rain. Brian Bogers, he fell from 14th. He would eventually finish in 23rd for Fantic. Not ideal. Renault then stalled from second. He remounted in about 5th place. And then as he was charging his way through, so too was Calvin Verlandren. He moved up to 5th with that move on Panzer. Febvre, after his poor start, was on the charge. He moved past Horgmo and Panzer by the end of that lap, and he was now up into 6th just before the halfway mark. A pass on Calvin Verlandren with 3 laps to go moved Febvre into 5th, which is where he'd finish. Verlandren finished in 6th place, but no one a match, it would appear, for the 96 on the Red Bull KTM of Lucas Koenen. On course for his first race win. This was on the final lap. Geiser closing in. Then he made a mistake coming out of the first turn, but it was Lucas Koenen who won like it was a Grand Prix. He celebrated in style. Why wouldn't you? Make the most of it as well. Enjoy the moment, Lucas. You'll get first gate pick for the races today. Geiser second, Fernandez third. So after that, Tim Geiser, who held a 20-point advantage heading into that race, now 23 clear. Maxime Renault is back in second, Fevre down to third, but those two tied on points. Glenn Koldenoff is 5 points further back, 15 points further back, and then we've got Lucas Koenen, Ruben Fernandez, Andrea Bonacorsi, Pauls Jonas and Horgmo. Don't you love a little bit of arty cam? It's damp over there, isn't it? A little bit moist. Let's take a look at how the riders line up. Lucas Koenen on pole for the first time in his career in MXGP after his first race win in MXGP on Saturday. Tim Geiser goes to line second, ahead of his Honda HRC teammate Ruben Fernandez. Maxime Renault on the Monster Energy Yamaha, Roman Fevre, Kawasaki Racing Team. Verlanderen and Gifting on the JK Racing Yamaha, and Pauls Jonas with Jan Panzer, Team Jet 253, and Kevin Horgmo, head of his Honda Motor Blues SR Motul teammate Albi Ferrato, back from injury. Mattia Guadagnini, the first of the Aruba.IT Ducatis. Glenn Koldenoff, the first of the Fantic Factory machines, ahead of his teammate Andrea Bonacorsi. Ben Watson on the Beta MRT machine, and Siwa, Valentin Guillot, Rowan van der Moostijk, Adam Sterry, Kevin Brumman, and the rest of the guys. 30 riders lining up. Cornelius Toondell, miraculously recovering from a broken arm, it would appear. That was the news yesterday. He went out on the warm-up today. It was just a bit of a bang and a bit of a knock, so he's going to be riding through the pain barrier. No arms were injured in the making of that voiceover. Lucas Koenen takes his position behind the gate. The Red Bull KTM rider led every one of the 13 laps yesterday. Can he do it again today? Tim Geiser will want to have something to say about that. The 5-time champ, 50 Grand Prix winner, goes to line second, ahead of Ruben Fernandez. Maxime Renault, home Grand Prix for the Monster Energy Yamaha rider. Started second, then stalled, went down to fifth, quickly got back into fourth, which is where he stayed. He was the lead Frenchman over the line. Ruben Fernandez, Honda HRC. Good qualifying for him yesterday. After a 10th and a 4th in the first 2 rounds, he finally breaks the top 3. Speaking of number 3, Roman Fevre, Kawasaki Racing Team, MXGP. I don't think he took a stone on the lip. I think he cut himself shaving. Very easy to take a rock to the face around here, though. The place is littered and strewn with them. Goggles are going to be a nightmare. Visibility, Calvin Verlanderen making sure he has the best visibility as he takes his place behind the gate. 6th in the quali race yesterday. JK Racing, the Swede, the super Swede, Isaac Gifting, goes to line 7th. That was a good qualifying race for him as well. The run down to the first turn. Josh Gilbert, gate number 2, alongside him in gate 1, the 303 of Albi Ferrato. The Fly Racing 15-second board up for the first time today. MXGP race 1, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. Who will it be that grabs that all-important foxhole shot? The last calm moments before the 5-second board turns. The revs go up, the gates drop here. Everybody cleanly away, apart from one rider, as I say that in the background. Might have been Tom Cock. And around the outside was the 300 of Noah Ludwig. Did he grab the foxhole shot, though? Doesn't matter, does it? Because at the top of the hill, Tim Geiser leads. And look who's in second on a 450 Triumph. Tom Guyon, the local boy. Didn't have a good qualifying race yesterday. And is quickly being pushed back into 4th place. As Fevre goes through, Koenen goes through. But it's Geiser who leads at the first time of asking. Lucas Koenen in second. Those two a role reversal for now. Fevre in 3rd, a perfect start for him. 4th, Mattia Guadagnini. Tom Guyon in 5th. Ludwig in 6th, Horgmo 7, Guillot 8. Bogas in 9th, Jonas 10, Ferrato, Fernandez, Siwa, Koldenoff, Gifting. Renault in 20th place, just behind Verlanderen. Some riders with a lot of work to do. Guillot on the blue machine here. He is well placed alongside Fernandez. Lots of stuff going on here on this opening lap, as you would imagine. There's Bogas going through, or was that Bonacorsi? That was Bonacorsi towards the back. Guadagnini, he's in fourth at the moment on the Aruba.IT Ducati. Here's Fevre, just ahead of him in third. Hoping to give something for the French fans to shout about. But all eyes on the 101 of Ducati's Mattia Guadagnini at the moment. Good start for him. 12th in the qualifying race. Started 12th, finished 12th. As Jonas carves his way up the inside of Noah Ludwig. A name we don't normally associate at the sharp end in MXGP. Jonas now up into 5th place. Watch us here, cuts back to the inside, gets on the gas early. Kept it clean though, could have squeezed him, eventually did, as he fought for that inside line. Ruben Fernandez now eyeing up the 300 of Noah Ludwig. Tim Geiser with a 49.2, 7 tenths quicker than Lucas Koenen on the Red Bull KTM. The gap between those two, 1.5 seconds. Just behind these two is Valentin Guillot. He's in 8th, Hogmo 9. Tom Guyon in 10th place on the number 49. Tech 32, Triumph rider. There he is, just in the background. Hogmo up the inside of him. Hogmo now 9th, Guyon 10. Great to see Valentin Guillot lining up today. Very much a private outfit this weekend, well, this season. Posted on his social channels after Spain, sorry, but we didn't have enough spare parts to go racing in the conditions last weekend. And I'm guessing maybe engines and things like that, if there was a breakage or anything like that. But good to see he's there, and he's up there in 8th place at the moment. Ruben Fernandez, 3rd in the quali race. Decent start, sitting there in 7th place. The rider ahead of him, 300 of Noah Ludwig on the Saarholz KTM. A German rider on a German team. Just keeping my eye on the gaps at the head of the field as Fernandez around the outside. Moves up into 6th. Been a bright start though for the German on the 300. Ferrato already in for goggles. Right, Tom Guyon dropping down to 12th as Bogas and Koldenhoff, both the Fantics go through. Bogas now 10, Koldenhoff in 11. Koldenhoff had a nasty crash yesterday, just after the finish line, turn right, out of the turn, high-sided, went headfirst into the next takeoff. Took a while just to sort of sort himself out, make sure the shoulders and the neck were okay, but good to see him lining up in this first race and also the qualifying race yesterday, of course. But a miserable day here in Saint-Jean-d'Angely. Rain continues to pour. Fevre on the charge, 1.4 seconds behind Lucas Koenen. Koenen was masterful around here in the qualifying race on Saturday. Can he bring the same magic to race 1? He's there in 2nd, but Fevre has got the whole of the region to his left as he goes down the start straight, urging him on. He won this Grand Prix last year, didn't he, until he didn't. The one where, if you remember, hopefully we don't have conditions as bad as that. But at the moment, the rain continues to fall. Fevre continues to push on. Geiser 3 seconds clear of the Belgian. The Frenchman, though, a second behind Koenen, who's looking sturdy in that 2nd place on his Red Bull KTM. took a rock to the face yesterday in the qualifying race, split his lip, bashed his tooth around a bit. Last year it was a thumb injury, having failed to, well, just jump short on the triple before the finish, didn't he? A triple that everyone, even 250s, were doing the year before, so they just changed the angle on it last year. See how, with the rain coming down, you've got the two-tone dirt. The dark is where it's maybe a little bit grippier. The light is where the stone is coming through and is where the race line has been. Nicely through there for Febvre. So therefore it's a little bit slick. Maxime Renault, the former red plate holder in this championship after the first round. He's working his way through. He was 20th on the opening lap. He's now up into 12th place. Trying to get up front as quickly as possible, try and score as many points as possible from his home Grand Prix. One of them at least. We do have a French Grand Prix middle of the season at Ernay later on to look forward to as well. The rider ahead of Renault, Glenn Koldenoff in 11th place. Fantic Factory Racing MXGP. Sun coming out, so the rain's stopping now. And if it stays off now between now and the end of the GP race, of course the track will quickly dry out and then it will get grippy very quickly. Calvin Verlanderen chasing his teammate on the number 10. So Verlanderen in 13th, gifting about 3 seconds further back for JK Yamaha. Jargo Geerts in the points in 15th after a miserable qualifying race yesterday where he was 25th. There's some fancy new handlebars on his machine this weekend. I think that's more to do with the, so I'm told, maybe something to do with the injury that he had last year with the elbow. So just trying to get a little bit more comfort, perhaps. They look trick though.